Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video. I'm working on photos from Milwaukee. We went out to dinner one of the nights we were there, and we went to an Irish pub that was just a couple of blocks away from where we're staying. So I have pictures of the outside, the inside of music happening, and then the next layout after will be the food. For now I'm focusing on these though, and this is slightly unusual because I've got this side over here 6x8. In the middle, I'm actually doing a 3x8 insert because I found this bookmark at a local bookstore we went to after this, and I loved that it was Irish, so I figured it would work with this layout. And on the other side, I'm going to use a 3x8 pocket card here. I'm going to take this photo and make that part of the card. But then I also have the full right side, another 6x8. So there's a lot happening here. So I have to find some 3x8 pocket inserts for this. Plus I also need two 3x4 cards for these spots, and then I have to embellish everything. So kind of a big job. I'm hoping that I can get through all of these in one video, but we'll see what happens. As you can see here, I have a ton of 3x8 options here. So I really need a mix of things because on this one, you're really only going to see the background. I may end up just going with a pattern paper, but I want to look through here and just see, is there anything that has a nice border or something, that might work for that. And then on this side, for the photo, I have a little bit more leeway because there's more room top and bottom. So I'm hoping I can maybe find something that has a fun phrase or title on it. Ooh, maybe even that one. I have a bunch of options. I love that it's the right color, but doesn't work for this. So I'm just gonna look through there and see what I find. The other thing I want to mention here is I threw this little packet of stuff into my Milwaukee bin because it's all music themed, and there was a band here playing. I can't remember their name. They did say it, but I can't remember it. And they were doing trad tunes or traditional tunes, Irish music. And so I wanted to make sure that I got something in there that was music related. So I have a bunch of things in here. Not quite sure what will work. A lot will depend on what I find for behind this, and then the cards that I find for over here. For this side with the bookmark, I have found two possible options here. This one's a lot more subtle, but I'm not sure I'm crazy about the look of like a library card or a ledger, but it has gray and pink. Those colors also appear in here. So that certainly would work color-wise. And really I don't need anything spectacular on the background, so it might be okay. I really like this next one better, except for one thing. I love that it has these green stars and a pink background. What I don't love is this border right here. It's not too far off from this. This is definitely more pink, almost a salmon if you look at it. It's not this reddish color, but there is a little sort of reddish brown brick red color here. And most of it, not all, but most of it could be covered up by the bookmark if I did it like that. So I'm thinking that might be a good option because it does add a nice pop of color. I love those stars. I just wish it didn't have this, and I thought, well, maybe I could cover that up, but it would be pretty difficult to do that and then still have the pink border that I want. So I think if I use it, it's gonna go as is. We'll see. I'm gonna think about it a little bit more, but I'm gonna put those off to the side. Now I'm gonna look for something that will work for this photo that goes on the back side of the insert. For the back side here, I had pulled these two 3x8 cards that I liked, and I decided already I'm going to go with this one because it has more open space here, and I don't like that it says weather forecast right here. I don't need that for this layout. I could certainly, cover it with something, but why? If I can use this one instead, that will work fine without it. So I'll save this one for something else. And I'm just going to attach the photo right here, kind of in the middle. And obviously I'll fill this in, but this still leaves me room where I can overlap some phrases or some of those music embellishments, even up top here because I've got dead space happening. So I'm excited to start on that. I have that adhered now, and I love that. And I've pulled out a couple of things I think might work here. I think I'm gonna have to pull out some embellishments though, like some chipboard or stickers or something, because I don't have any pink in here, and I think I need it, but it made me think back to the other side, and I realized I am going to use this one because this pink I think is just more bold than this. I think that one might get lost in the background. So I am going to just adhere it like so, so it takes up most of that area, but you still see the border, and then this will just hang freely, and this side will actually be done. So when I was trying to adhere this, I realized that my mono adhesive runner was not really sticking to it. It's kind of a slick surface, and it just wasn't working. So I have had to resort to using red line tape, which I have. So I've got 2 long strips here, and the only thing, of course, I'm worried about is that I have to be very careful with how I place this, because once it's down, it's down. It's probably not going to come back up again. So I just need a very, very careful placement in how I do it. So let's get it all lined up here. And about a little bit down, about like that, I think. I'm just gonna do that. There we go. Yep, and that's it. It'll go in just like that. In my stash of embellishment type things, decorating things, I found these, and the pink is actually quite nice for what I'm doing. So I have this one that says and I normally don't like ampersands or embellishments that actually say and, they just bother me, but maybe I could work that in somewhere here. I like this one that says yes, because we had planned to go here anyway, but when we walked in and realized, oh, they're going to have live music tonight, total score bonus, and we thought, well, are we gonna, you know, stay through our meal and then if they're playing just kind of hang around? And the answer was yes, obviously, because we both love Irish music, so why wouldn't we? So I'm tempted to use that one. I also like this little sunburst or asterisk looking option, and again, I can scatter these around the page. Even this one that says lovey, that would be appropriate too. So hopefully I'll get to use several of these. I'm going to start here, then I'll work my way out to the cards, and we'll just see what all comes together from what's left. So I ended up adding those 2 puffy stickers to this, and now this whole middle section is done, so I can focus on the actual regular sized pages now. And I don't think I'm going to use this. Just looking at it, it was live music, so I don't like that it's a record player, but all of these I might be able to do, so I have to pick cards where it'll match. And one of them has to be a journaling card, because I do have things I want to say. So one can be just, you know, background or have a phrase on it, you know, big phrase or something, but the other one needs to have journaling. And I know there's nothing that matches this in the 3x4 cards I have left that I had put in the bin. So I'm going to have to just go into my regular stash or my stash of travel specific cards. So I've picked out one card already. I'm going with this one, 3 Reasons Why. And I love that it is pink over here. And it works really well because when I was looking back at this sheet again, this one says, this makes me happy. And it's a darker gray, but it still is gray. I think it will work fine here. So my plan is to use it at the bottom. So it says 3 reasons why this makes me happy. So I think I'm gonna do it right up against the right edge there. Make sure that that's even. Does that look even? I think so, pretty good. All right, so I have that, and I can fill in my journaling later. So that gives me the journaling space that I wanted. And now I have to go through the rest of my cards to find out what is going to fit here. And I'd be okay with another pink one or even a little coral or green or even black and white, because I do have some black happening here. I also want to work in some of these though. So I'm kind of confused as to how I'm gonna make that all fit. And actually looking at this one, this doesn't really work. This wood veneer one, so I'm gonna put that in the pile over there. That brings me down to just these 3 choices here, so I definitely have to pick out the right card. Putting everything back together here, I wanted to see what this card would look like depending on what I added. I decided to go with just a black and white one that says this moment documented, and then to put this little bubble with the note on there, but it's way too black and white. So I have pulled 2 scraps of green here. I think I like this one better. When I see them next to each other, this almost feels just a bit too light, or bright even is what it is, I think. Too bright, yeah. So I think I'm going to use this one and just cut a strip that's 3 inches across and put it underneath here to pull in some of that green. Otherwise, I don't feel like there's enough over here, and this is way too stark without it. I've added the strip there for color, and I really like that, so I think that one is done. But when I look at this all together, I feel like I need gray to bring this in, and probably up here. I've got dead space happening, so I could fit in something there. I'm going to pull out my gray phrases and just see if there's something in there that would be okay for this, because I honestly don't even remember what all I have in there, but I'm sure I have something that hopefully will be a close color match to this. So when I was working on trying to find a phrase for the photo up here, I noticed that I liked the color balance better with these 2 photos switched around. So I moved them to where they are now. I do like that better, and I feel like a little bit more lightness here that's diagonal from the white, so I like that. And then these are at opposite corners, I like that. Now I'm pretty satisfied with it, I think. So I've made those changes. And then for this pocket and the photo, I found this. This was the closest thing I had to that color, and they're not perfect, but it's the closest one. And at first I didn't like the phrase, but it's growing on me because when we figured out how close this was, we're like, yep, we're putting that on our to-do list. That's where we're gonna eat at some point, either lunch, dinner, you know, whatever. So I feel like it's appropriate. So all I have to do really is attach it here, and this might be done. The only other thing I might do is maybe something down here. I'm not sure. I want to see how this looks first. Let's see, is that straight? Yep, I think that's pretty good. So I have those. Yeah, I just realized I have 2 things over here. I only have 1 here. Nothing here. I do have some dead space there. Where's that sheet? Oh, right here. Sheet of puffy stickers I had. Is there anything else on here that I could put in this corner? I have this one, but that would look weird putting it at the bottom, and I don't like this triangle, I don't think. No, I don't. So those aren't going to go there. And that would kind of be weird. So I don't think I'm going to use those. I will find something else. I was having trouble finding what I wanted for here, and then I remembered I have these phrases here, these stickers from Dear Lizzie. I've had these forever. I love sticker sheets like this, but it seems like I can never ever actually finish them. There's always stuff left, so I'm happy whenever I can use them. I think I'm gonna use this one that says Delightful. It's a perfect fit right here, great size. The font is black, and so it matches with what I've got going, so I think it's gonna work. Okay, I think this one is finally done. I added that on there. I think it's perfect. A little goes a long way. So this is what it looks like with this in the middle, and then when you flip it, you get that. I think there's a good mix of all the colors: green, pink, black, white, even a little gray when I needed a neutral. So here's another one done from Milwaukee. Thanks for watching.